Well, it was exciting, of course. I think that Ridley often, it takes time to develop something, and seemed quite odd that he hadn't done another film since Alien about the subject, and then here it is. So it was hugely exciting to be sort of like I consider him a very masterful filmmaker. So I was very excited to read the script and just figure out, where he was going to come from.
I know you've been working on Ridley Scott's The Counselor. How is that going? I think you just have a fairly small role, right?
Yeah, just a small role. I've been Ridley gave me my shot into film. He let me in the big leagues, and so it's really nice to return, do something with him. And then Cormac McCarthy, I probably read every word this man's published more than once, most of them more than once. So it was nice for me.
I'm really humbled by this experience, and I have to hand it to Ridley. He's a mathematician, he's an architect, it's all geometry, and he knows what he's doing in a way that I think is, he's a force of nature.
Ridley's definitely a visual director, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he has the most extraordinary vision. He really is able to create worlds that other people can't, but not at the expense of the actors. I mean, he was the most delightful, communicative, respectful actor's director that I've ever come across.
It's a fantastic cast, but tell me about working with someone like Ridley Scott. He's been there, he's done it for 40, 50 years. Tell me about the thrill of that as an actor going to work for someone like him.
Well, I mean, that's the dream, because I think, as an actor, as an actress, you're like, when you feel the confidence that a director has, you immediately settle and kind of breathe a little easier. You know when you can rely on someone to tell you when to push it a little bit or to change it, or when they're not necessarily feeling something that you're intending to give. And you just know that he knows what he's doing. So that really gives you a sense of ease. And he has like 4 or 5 cameras rolling the entire time, which really forces everyone to kind of be really present. And it really creates an energy. So when you come away from that, you feel so spoiled. When you get back to a set and it's one camera and you're like, oh no, we're going to be doing this all day.
Yeah, so several years ago, I interviewed Mark Strong and I asked him what it's like to work with Ridley Scott. And he said he is insane when it comes to the details. And just from working with him on those couple of episodes, what did both of you notice about what makes him a unique director?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very true. He has everything in his mind, every frame, every detail, and he's so precise. And at the same time, he's totally ready to let go, because when actors come in and do their thing, you can't predict what happens. And so I think that's very unique and genius to have both the full control and also the full freedom of just being open to whatever happens. And then he's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, again, this force of, he's a visionary. He's a real sort of force in regards to that kind of craft. And as I think, Mark was right in the sense that there is a real insane attention to detail, but at the same time, that isn't forced on you. It's, you're just part of the process. And I think that was what was really great about working with him, was the fact that it was so freeing to sort of explore and play.
For you, I just said to Billy and Michael, being a part of this movie and how much, because both said that Ridley, he's so inspiring, even for young actors, because he has so much fire under his ass. He's really a driven man. Did you have that same feeling with him?
Oh, absolutely. He has the gift of eternal youth. It's bizarre. Maybe he's a synthetic. I'm not sure. But
or an alien.
Yeah. There's something abnormal about him, that's for sure. It's extraordinary to be in his presence. I mean, he's just a really exciting, passionate person. And I knew going into it that he was a visual genius, and I knew from other actors that he was great fun to work with, but I didn't expect him to also be so lovely. He's a very kind, beautiful person, and it doesn't really matter if the director is a kind, beautiful person, maybe, but it really does help, and you feel it on set, and it's kind of, he sets the tone, and it spreads around the whole set. The crew too, everybody feels proud and welcome and secure and psyched to be there. So it is a kind of special thing.
A lot of actors walk around with their fantasy director. He's my fantasy director, and I've been on some movies with directors where I've said, you know, to a friend or someone, God, I just wish I was working with Ridley Scott. Or like, he just, for me, represents that kind of ultimate director who knows what he's doing. And, you know, but like we said, is so collaborative and loves actors, but he's in control of the vision and the story that he wants to tell. And when I watch his films, I am mesmerized by his ability to not focus just on incredible visuals, because I do think he's an artist and he sees things like a painter and a sculptor and in that way, but the core of everything that he does is storytelling.
To read this script and know that Ridley was taking this on was so incredibly exciting, because if anyone can really pull it off and make it glorious, it's Ridley. And I think he's just having a blast. You know, this is his element. I think he's so good at these historical films, and I think he understands them in a very personal way. They seem so intimate and real, and yet with this huge scale. So it's really fascinating. Every day, you know, every day is just marvelous.
The amazing thing with Ridley is that he's so down to earth. He loves movies and he loves working, and he's just so, he has so much passion, so much love. So, you know, you forget that, you know, I forgot that I was nervous the first day, and then we kind of just jumped on this mission and this journey started, and I was just in there for like 6 months, and it was incredible. And I forgot that I was nervous, and I forgot that it was Sir Ridley Scott and all that, because the way he works is just so incredible.
I think what Ridley Scott does is he starts off with the kind of human element, and you don't get kind of overwhelmed by technicalities and CGI and special effects. I mean, that's what I find brilliant working with him, is that he starts off with who you are, you know, the characters, his feelings, emotions, his issues and conflicts, and then builds around that. So he's a great man to work for.